So this is just a recap. Like, so 2 weeks back, we talked about 25 qualities that devotee of Krishna possess. Um, like we all have those qualities. It's just that we forgot our relationship with Krishna, and we are trying to enjoy by ourselves. So we do not know ourselves completely. So, but we can revive our relationship with Krishna by hearing about him, by hearing from pure devotees, because pure devotees, Vaishnavas, have all these qualities. And so today we will talk about Krishna's qualities, the beauty of Krishna. So a lot of times we hear that like God is great, right? So how great he is, God must have all the qualities, all these sentiments. It's said in the Vedas that Krishna has all these sentiments that we have, but in the unlimited form. Like we have these qualities like anger or love or compassion. All these qualities we have is because Krishna has those, but it is in its pure form he has. So um, so I hope you remember this. So in battlefield of Kurukshetra, when even when Krishna was almost like 100 years old, when he was in the battlefield, he looked so beautiful. It is said that he looked like never, yeah, like he looks like a youth, like a 25-year-old, like less than that. He was so beautiful. He didn't have beard, he didn't have white hair, he didn't have so he is ever young and ever fresh. And the Bhishma Dev, who was the great grandfather of all the Kauravas, all and Pandavas, he actually described Krishna so beautifully in Bhishma Stuti, like in the prayers before he died, like he sang about the beauty of Krishna. So he says that Krishna is so beautiful that like everyone who sees him, even the asuras, even the demons who saw Krishna, they got attracted towards him. Even all the demons who just saw, even though they came to Krishna to kill him in Vrindavan, but just by looking at their beauty for a sec, they were so mesmerized. He was so beautiful. Like his complexion is like tamala tree, like darkish blue rain cloud, and he has peacock feathers in his hair, and he has so like it is said that every ornament of Krishna has a name, and the flutes has a name. He has jewelry. The pendant is called Kastuba jewel, and his earrings has a name. Like all are so lively. They're all serving Krishna, and he wears this beautiful garlands by Janti Mala, and it is said that when sun rays falls on a cloth, when you go on the daylight, when sun rays fall on like a cloth, it becomes golden. It looks so bright. Like that Krishna wears like a dhoti called pitambara, like golden color. So you can just imagine. And it is said that in the Bhagavatam that Krishna's he's like glistening, it's like glittering, like his complexion is like darkish blue, but he's so bright and it's like glistening blue. So you can just imagine how beautiful he is. And it is said that Krishna expands himself as Paramatma, like a little, like 8 inches form of his four-handed form, super soul within each and every one of our hearts. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he is in everyone's heart. So can you imagine how beautiful Krishna must be, like he's in our heart, and in his threefold form, holding in his flute, he's even more beautiful. So that's why all the people, Vrajavasis in Vrindavan, they love Krishna so much. Even today, if you go to Vrindavan, they just love Krishna so much to their hearts, So today we'll talk about every quality, like 64 quality of Krishna. Before that, I wanted to tell you a story, but Srila Prabhupada told the story how a thief came to Vrindavan and he wanted to see Krishna because of hearing how beautiful he was. So we'll just see that. Sorry, let me see. Um, Okay, can you see this, Gargi? This. Uh,
Oh, no,
can you see the screen? No.
I can see the slideshow.
Okay, one second. Can you see this?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And can you hear it?
It's very instructive. Try to hear.
Yeah,
One
I can hear it.
professional reciter was reciting about Bhagavat, and he was describing that Krishna, being very highly decorated with all jewels, he is sent for tending the cows in the forest. So there was a thief in that meeting. So he thought that why not then go to Vrindavan and plunder this boy? He's in the forest with so many valuable jewels. I can go there and catch the child and take all the jewels. That was his intention. So you are serious? I must find out that boy. Then in one night I shall become millionaire. So much jewelry. So he went there. But his qualification was that I must see Krishna. I must see Krishna. That anxiety, that eagerness made it possible that in Vrindavan he saw Krishna. He saw Krishna the same way as he was informed by the Bhagavad Gita. Then he said, oh, you are so nice, Krishna. So he began to flatter. He thought that flattering, I shall take all the jewels.
Mm-hmm.
So when he proposed his real business, so may I take some of these ornaments? He was so rich. No. My mother will be angry. I cannot. Krishna has a child. So he became more and more eager for Krishna. And then, by Krishna's association, he has already become purified. Then at last Krishna said, all right, you can take. And then he became a devotee immediately. Because by Krishna's association, somewhere or other, we should come in contact with Krishna. Somewhere or other. Then he will be purified.
So, did you hear that story? Were you able to understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So, this really happened like many years ago. So even though he was a thief, even though he wanted to take Krishna, kidnap Krishna, or like take Krishna's jewels, but even like we could see many asuras like demon like Putana who came to Vrindavan to kill Krishna with her poison. But Krishna was so merciful that he purified her at the end, and she went back to Golok Vrindavan and she became a nurse for Krishna. She became a caretaker of Krishna. So, like that, many instances, even all the demons that Krishna killed, they all went back to spiritual world. So whether we think of Krishna in a nice way or a negative way, but when we come in contact with Krishna, because he's so purified, he's 100% pure, so we become purified as well. So, but if a person who doesn't like Krishna and thinks of Krishna, he gets so much benefit. So just imagine when we think of Krishna with so much love, with so much affection, then we can definitely experience the love for Krishna from within. That is the highest gift. That is more than anything else in this world. So we'll just go through some like the 64 qualities. So the first one is he's ever fresh, as we discussed, that even like Krishna never ages. In the spiritual world, actually, no one ages. Like we have a spiritual body that doesn't take, the soul never has to take birth, right? And it doesn't go through death. But because we want to be away from the Lord, so we came here. So we have to go through the cycle of birth, old age, and disease, and all that. But this body is going through, but the soul never changes. So the supreme soul is always, his body and his soul is like one and the same. So, and everyone knows about Krishna. Even all the three worlds knows who Krishna is. Um, so in second qualities, he's surrounded by devotees endowed with wonderful love of Godhead. So when we speak of Krishna, Krishna is not alone. Krishna means his name, his qualities, his fame, his friends, his paraphernalia, his entourage, all these are included. He comes with his kingdom. It's like when you talk about king, like it means like the entire kingdom, his entire legacy. So like that. So when we talk about Krishna, he's always with his devotees. He's never alone. You cannot see a picture of Krishna alone. He'll be with the, you know, there will be some animals around him, cows around him, like gopis around him, gopas. He's never alone. God is always around with his people. And third one, he has a wonderful excellence of beauty, which cannot be reviled anywhere in the creation. So his personal beauty is so great that there is no necessity of his wearing ornaments on his body. So I read this in Bhagavatam, where Lord Brahma is telling, like, ornaments look so beautiful because of the Lord, you know. Sometimes we say when we wear a necklace, beautiful necklace or like bangles or like some ornaments, we feel like we look beautiful because of the ornaments we wore. But actually, like God, Krishna, like he is so beautiful that ornaments look more beautiful, you know? So it's like nothing in front of him. He's so beautiful. Um, so Gargi, do you want to read this? Are you able to read it? This one? Hare Krishna?
Yeah, he can attract.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. He can attract all living entities all over the universe by playing on his flute.
Yeah, you can read this one as well. Yeah.
He's a performer of wonderful varieties of pastimes,
Yeah.
especially his childhood pastimes.
Yeah, the first one here is like great personalities like Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Indra humbly bow down by hearing the sound of Krishna's flute. Even the cows, the deers, the birds, the trees, everyone are enchanted by the sweet vibration of his flute. So it is said that in the spiritual world, everything is alive. It's so like there are five rasas, five mellows that you can relish the relation with Krishna. So it could be in Sakya Ras, like in friendship, like the Gopas and the Gopis, or like the Vatsalya Ras, like you can be a parent of Krishna, or it can be like a sister, like, you know, like that level, or like, you know, like in Dwarka, you can be like a servant, like so dasyaras. And one more is like the trees, like the cows, peacocks, the birds, the grass, the stones, everything is so alive. They're just so mesmerized with the beauty of Krishna. So you can be anything in relation with Krishna. So everyone in the spiritual world is just around serving. They're all in the service mood to render service with lordships like Radha and Krishna. So they're constantly serving each other, serving the Lord. So and you know, in Krishna and other avatars, he uses a lot of weapons, but in his original feature is Krishna. He uses his flute. Everyone is so enchanted by his flute music. It's so beautiful. And the next one, he's a performer of wonderful varieties of pastimes. So especially his childhood pastimes. This is one of my favorite while growing up. Um, this fruit vendor. So this fruit vendor actually one day, she actually when Krishna was in Gokul, actually Gokul, she used to take, like back in the day there was a barter system. There's no money concept. Like you take something and you get something. Like you give some bag of grains and you can get some vegetables or something like that. So it was called barter system in Krishna's time. So there was this beautiful, like that time, even though Krishna was in one place in Vrindavan, everyone in nearby cities or towns or villages would know about Krishna because he was so beautiful. Like his features were so beautiful, like than any other child. Everyone wanted to see him. And people from Dwarka, Mathura, everyone knew that there's this beautiful blue boy whose name is Krishna. So they're like that. There's one lady, she used to sell fruits. Okay, so she actually she was not that rich. She was a bit like less than middle class lady. She would go to town, village to village to actually find that Krishna where he is. And one day that day came when she saw this beautiful Krishna playing with Balram in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So she came and she had this fruits of mangoes and oranges, bananas. She had so many fruits in her basket, and so she came. And she called the boy Krishna, and she was so mesmerized by just looking at his beautiful feet. And he was just like 1 year old, he was very small. And Krishna was like, he goes and gives just a handful of grains to her, and she was like, this is more than enough for me, Krishna. I'll give you all these fruits for you. So she started piling. She gave so many fruits to Krishna, and then moments later she looked down. Her basket was full of gold and gems and diamonds. And so Lakshmi, it was like Lakshmi, her Lord Krishna's concert, Lakshmi Devi manifested, because wherever we serve Krishna, Lakshmi Devi automatically is there. So she was so happy. She saw, like, I saw beautiful Krishna, like this is nothing for me. So on the way back, it seems she actually put those jewels, real jewels, very beautiful jewels from Vaikuntha Dham. She just put them in the river because she saw Krishna. There's nothing more beautiful than that. He's so beautiful. So that was what that is the little pastime here. And the next one is uncountable universes generate from his body. So it is said that, like, when we breathe, like when Krishna, like he expands as Mahavishnu, and that's where, like, he inhales, and when he exhales, innumerable, not one planet, universes generate, galaxies just come out. So in one universe, you can imagine there's so many galaxies. So like that, millions of universes he's been just generating, and in each universe there's a Brahma, and there's a and he expands as Vishnu, and he expands as Paramatma, like in every entity. So he's unlimited potencies. And then the next one is his original source of all incarnation. So is uncountable, and he is the giver of salvation of the enemies whom he kills. As I explained before, even the demons he tries to kill, they get liberation. So he's all honorable. A person who is chief among all important persons is called all honorable. When Krishna was living in Dwaraka, demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, the king of heaven, and many others used to come to visit him. And this is true, actually. And back in the day, in different millennium, like Narada Muni, like a lot of devatas, people can actually see them. Now we do not have purified eyes to see the devatas, but all these devatas would come to Lord Krishna to seek his blessings. And the other one is Sachit Ananda. He always possesses an eternal blissful body. So we also have a body of Sachit Ananda, but we are like minute particles, part and parcels of Krishna. So Krishna's transcendental body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. Sat means ever existing for all time and in all places. Chit means full of knowledge. Krishna has nothing to learn from anyone, and Ananda means the reservoir of all pleasure. So we are experiencing some pleasure is because we have that um, quality called ananda, because we are always looking for some pleasure, for some happiness. So when we remove these, when we revive our real form, when we revive our real connection with Krishna, that is when we really find our real pleasure. Because when we love Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the real happiness. And even though Krishna is not partial, he's neutral to everyone, he's still partial to his children, to his devotees, because they really love him. So he's not partial to anyone, so but he has special attraction for a devotee who worships his name in love and affection. So here we can see in this picture where he's serving Sudama, his eternal friend, and she is Rukmini Maya, Rukmini Devi, Lakshmi Devi herself. So Krishna is ready to serve his devotees in any extent. So he loves his devotees so much. As we talked about last week about Prahlad Maharaj, he was such a devotee of Krishna, of the Lord. His father tortured him in many ways, but finally Krishna couldn't handle it. He himself came as Nrsingadev. And he is supreme controller. Do you want to read this paragraph, Gargi? Um, okay, so Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, do you want to read this paragraph?
Oh yeah, sure. There are two kinds of controllers or lords. One who is independent is called controller, and one whose orders cannot be neglected by anyone is called controller. Srimad
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam says that the Lord is not sentient, but is
But he's
completely
also
independent.
yeah. So it says that like he's completely independent. So even though he has all these sentiments and he's the original person, so we cannot have a relationship with someone who does not have a form, right? So God must be, if we have some form, God must be have us, he will have a supreme form. So so one who's independent is called controller. One whose orders cannot be neglected by anyone is called controller. So Krishna is the supreme controller. Whatever he says, that is the law. Because God, whatever he says, that is his judgment, that is his law. Um, so, and he's very attractive to all women. This is one of the speciality of Krishna. And he's changeless. He never changes. Um, Krishna does not change his body. He appears in his own body and is therefore not affected by the modes of material nature. So he personally comes, he appears. He doesn't take birth. Like we do not have a choice to choose our parents. But Krishna comes, he chooses his devotees to be his parents. So he doesn't have, he's unborn, he doesn't have parents, he's always there, he has no beginning, has no end. But because of his causeless mercy, he wants to develop this pure affection relationship with his children, and he possesses all mystic perfections. So there are many standards of perfections. The highest material perfections obtained by perfect yogis are listed as 8: become the smaller of the small, become the greatest of the great. All of these material perfections, as well as all spiritual perfections, can be found fully in Krishna's personality. So at the age of 2 years or 3 years, Yashoda Maya could see the entire universe, galaxies in Krishna's mouth, when he opened his mouth, when he was eating mud. Krishna and Balram were playing. Krishna was eating mud, and Yashoda Maya was afraid. Her Khana ji was eating mud. So when he opened his mouth, Yashoda Maya could not imagine. She could see the entire universe. And he also has inconceivable potency. Krishna is present everywhere. So, like this picture here, even Brahma was surprised. He's the creator of this universe, but he was shocked when he saw Krishna expanding unlimited. So Vishnu, so he's the original Vishnu, and he's all opulent. So Krishna has complete strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These six opulences is like just in the ocean, just like an ocean. No one can measure his opulence. And he's all cognizant, means who can understand the feelings of all persons and incidences in all places at all times is called all cognizant. The Lord says, I know everything, present, past, and future. So someone might say, how Krishna can know? Then because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he said this Bhagavad Gita already to Vivaswan, like the sun god already. So but during many years, like it was forgotten. So again, he repeated this to Arjuna. So if Krishna didn't know Bhagavad Gita, then he would not, Krishna knows everything. So that is why he is God himself. He says in the Bhagavad Gita that he knows everything. And he is the attractor of liberated souls. Even yogis get attracted to Krishna. Even completely liberated souls free from desires aspire to taste the pastimes of Radha Krishna. And he's all famous, and he's all worshipable. Everyone worships him, and he's controlled by love. I can see here Yashoda Maya tying rope around Damodar. Here, Kartik month is coming this year in November. Really excited for that. So yeah, that's can be controlled by no one, but it can be controlled by love. He's all auspiciousness, and he's most powerful. This is a very nice pastime in the Krishna book, where Krishna protects the Vrajavasis. He by inhaling all the fire. Once when when the whole forest caught fire, he inhaled all fire, but nothing happened to Krishna. He didn't get burned. So his body and him is like he is original. Nothing can harm him. And he's always happy. Any person who is always joyful and untouched by any distress is called happy. And not even a slight distress can touch Krishna. So whenever you see Krishna's picture, he's always smiling. You never see Krishna sad. So he's always happy. And the protector of silent souls. So whoever calls Krishna, he'll always come and protect him, no matter in what circumstances. And he's always gentle. This is one of the very nice qualities of Krishna. He's very humble and very gentle. Yeah. And he's very liberal too. You know, yeah, Krishna in when Dhruva Maharaj meditated for 6 months, Krishna gave created her own planet for Dhruva Maharaj, like that. Like he's so merciful and he's so liberal. And you can see in here, he's also very respectful. Like he's the supreme personality of Godhead. All the three worlds, everyone worships him. But he worships his devotees. He's taking chapel of his father, Nanda Maharaj. So Krishna is so respectful. That's the beauty of him. So we should always respect. Yes, Gargi, you have a question?
Yes. So you said that like Krishna's like his soul is like it never like changes. It always stays the same. But like does it get like wiser and does it like improve or does it just stay the same?
Sorry, I didn't get the last part. Does he? What?
does his soul like get wiser and improve, or does it like stay the same all the time?
So he's complete. So it doesn't like he in spiritual world it says that he's in this youthful form, 16-year-old boy. But he has in every Leela, like he has the childhood form and the teenage form. And but he's he never grows after that. Like, I mean, he's always, if you mean the physical body or like in general?
The soul.
Yeah, his soul never changes. It's always the same. And it said the beauty of Krishna increases day by day. Even Radharani's beauty increases. And in spiritual world, it is said that like his beauty is always increasing, and his it has unlimited qualities. Like the 64 qualities is just very limited, but he has like ocean and depth of limitless. You cannot measure his qualities. Even Anantastasha, his second expansion, cannot measure his qualities. Yeah, but his soul never changes. I hope that answers. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank
Yeah. So, but he comes in different avatars. But Krishna is the original form because in the other avatars he just comes and goes. Like in we saw like Narsinga Bhagavan's avatar and like Lord Ram, he comes for a purpose and goes. But when he originally comes as Krishna, he he relishes that mellows, that pastimes with his devotees in Vrindavan and other places like Mathura and Dwaraka. So he possesses unlimited. And other avatars, partial expansions probably come, or Vishnu expansions come. But Krishna, when he comes, all the expansions come within him. So yeah, and he's most compassionate. I can see here Bhishma Dev, lying here, and he was talking the beauty of Krishna here. He says, a person who is unable to bear another person's distress is called compassionate. Upon seeing the pitiable condition of Bhishma, who was lying on the bed of arrows, Krishna began speaking with tears in his eyes. Not only he was shedding tears, but he also forgot himself in his compassion. So Krishna is very compassionate to everyone and magnanimous. So he says magnanimous is someone who gives charity. When Krishna was reigning over Dwarka, he was also magnanimous and charitable disposed that there was no limit to his charity. Even the spiritual kingdom with all of its opulence was surpassed. So he was very noble and nice and very religious. So Krishna is always on the side of dharma, always on the side of righteousness because he created those laws, right? And he possesses equilibrium. He's not partial to anyone. He's equal to everyone. So here you can see in the Kaliya pastime that when Kaliya was giving out poison and trying to kill everyone, Krishna was about to kill Kaliya, but he was so merciful. He just left out his footprints on the head of Kaliya and removed all the poison and told him to go out. So he's equal to everyone. He says here, where Kaliya was being severely punished, all of his wives appeared before the Lord and prayed, "Oh dear Lord, you have descended to punish all kinds of demonic living creatures. Our husband, this Kaliya, is a very grateful, sinful creature, and so your punishment for him is quite appropriate. We know that it is in thinking of the future welfare of this condemned creature that you have um, chastised him." So he's forbearing. A person who tolerates all kinds of troubles, even though such troubles appear to be unbearable, is called forbearing. When Krishna was residing in the place of his spiritual master, he did not mind taking all troubles and rendering service to his guru, although his body was very soft and delicate. So here you'll see one picture here, Krishna and his friend Sudama, when they were young, his Guruji told him, go and fetch some wood for fire. So when they went, like, Krishna didn't mind, he's so respectable, he's the Lord, but he didn't say, I'm the Supreme Lord, I'm not going to do that. No, he was very showing respect to Vaishnavas, respect to all the people. So that is his forbearing nature. And he's very grave. Uh, and he's self-satisfied. He doesn't need to, no one needs to satisfy him. He's very heroic. We can see, and he killed so many demons and protected many princesses. He's always forgiving and is steadfast. He's self-controlled. He's very pure. And because he's 100% pure, anyone who get in touch in contact with Krishna, they become pure. And he's always seer by the authority of the scriptures. And he's expert judge of time and circumstances. And he's very grateful. That's very important quality. We should be very grateful because he's a supreme Lord. He gave us everything. So we should be very grateful. And he himself is very grateful. That is one of his qualities. And firmly determined. He's always determined. He's expert in everything. He's artistic and highly intelligent. He's a genius and highly learned. He's the one who created Brahma. Brahma came from the lotus, from the navel of Krishna. And he's fluent in everything, every language he's fluent. He's poetic as well. He talks very pleasingly. He's very effulgent. He's truthful. He's very strong. You can see here he carrying Govardhan Hill at the age of 7. He's wonderful linguist. He even talks to the animals. He can even talk to everything, all birds, parrots. He's so expressive. That's very nice, when you know that God is expressive, we feel like we can talk to him in any language of love. And he has beautiful features of the entire body. His transcendental form is the most attractive in all the 3 worlds. His face is as beautiful as the moon. His palms are expanded like lotus flowers. His eyes are like lotus petals, and the color of his body is like the color of clouds. He's so attractive that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. And he's marked with all auspicious characteristics. And it said that Krishna has some symbols on his feet. And he's extremely pleasing, we saw. He's shy too, and the well-wisher of devotees. So this is some of the qualities that we went through today. So hopefully I can see you next week.